Hello and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer replay. In this replay we're playing what? Chaos? Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me? We're playing Chaos against Lizardmen and we're looking to kill some slann today. But of course Kroq Gar is defending his slann and of course we've got a nice battle of anti-large gods here fighting each other. So we've got good old Kroq here. Now, for those of you that are maybe new to Total Warhammer, basically there was a bit of power shift between the Chaos and Lizardmen matchup, because basically what you used to have is you basically would have Kroq and a Shaggoth go up against Kroq Gar and his Carnosaur and a All Blood with a Carnosaur, and basically you get this massive sort of anti-large battle of two Dragon Ogres going up against two Carnosaurs. However, with the new Prophet and Warlock update, taking Star Chamber Guardians and Salamanders is a much more safer and better pick against Chaos now, because Salamanders, I mean, they are really hard to pin down for Chaos. I mean, Cavalry can get shut down very quickly by the Salamander Hunting Pack. Ancient Salamanders can destroy, units of Chosen very easily. Of course, they were nerfed, but in my opinion, it used to be a bit okay for Chaos because you could bring Chosen with Halberds, and they were just such a good unit because they could beat pretty much most Temple Guard. Well, they could beat most of the Source Warriors. Temple Guard could put up a fight, but of course, it was very rare that you'd see Temple Guard because they could be shut down by quite a few things. But now, I mean, say with the Salamanders and the Star Chamber Guardians, you see a lot more different builds. But basically, I've gone for the OG build here. I've got good old Kroq. He does have Lord of the Storm here, which is like a sort of not chain lightning. It's a bit of lightning from the down. He has a Stand or Die, and he's got Star Crusher, which is the splash attack power and armor piercing damage. Very, very good at killing out loads of blobby. Well, I guess Temple Guard. We do have a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. You have to be really. I mean, I wanted to bring this guy because I thought if I don't bring him and my opponent does go two Carnosaurs on me, I'm gonna Kroq is gonna have a real hard time fighting that. So had to be careful. Then again, I did take some Chosen with Halberds back here, so maybe I should have only chosen one. Looking back at this game, maybe I should have only taken one. Maybe only have, two anti-large, which is Kroq and maybe another unit, and maybe one of these two. But I decided to bring both of them, just in case, because, you can have a lot of scary dinosaurs come and spam at you. We do have a Hell Cannon, you gotta love those Chaos Dwarfs, man. Oh, man, you guys in the third game, I hope you're there. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, who knows, we might not even get them in the third game. It's a sort of a very, iffy pick. But, yeah, I mean, this is the Soul of Damnation. So it's basically the Regiment of Renown Hell Cannon. If I do bring a Hell Cannon, I will go for the Regiment of Renown because it's just far better and it has better stats, and basically just overall I just think it's just a bit better. But the thing about the Hell Cannon is it's really good at killing Temple Guard. So if my opponent does bring Temple Guard against me, bringing one of these is really good. They can be shut down by Bastillodons with the crossbows, but it's very rare, or the Bastillodons with the siege equipment, but it's very rare that you do see that. We do have a Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows here. I was trying to put this guy on a horse. Man, his arm is like totally fucked up. I did try to put him on a horse, but for some reason the game would not let me do that. So he's on foot here. He's going to have to run around and basically cast his spells elsewhere. He does have a Enabling Foe, which of course is minus 27 melee defense and melee attack. Well, not what I mean. And basically he has Occam's Mind Razor, which is weapon damage and armor piercing. So if I need to buff up any units against Temple Guard, always very nice to bring that. In the front line, though, we've gone with Chaos Warriors, 3 Chaos Warriors, and we do have the Mirror Guard here. The Mirror Guard are the Regiment of Renown basic Chaos Warriors. They're immune to psychology, which is really nice for their leadership, but also they're just such a cool looking unit. I mean, they've just got better stats overall. I mean, I think they're Sigvald's guard unit. Like, they basically protect Sigvald the Magnificent. He's like a Slanesh king or lord or something like that, I guess I should say. But yep, they're basically his Mirror Guard. But as for a Hand of the Gods going down there by Kroq Gar. But as for the leaders of the new one, I guess, of Lustria, we have got Kroq Gar here. Always a safe pick against Chaos. If you ever go up against Chaos and you don't know what Lizardmen Lord to bring Kroq Gar. He's just so safe. He's so, guaranteed. I mean, you've got that anti-large, you cause terror. You've got that Hands of the Gods ability, which is, does magic and fire damage, which is really nice. And overall, yeah, Kroq Gar just a real solid pick, fighting against Kroq or, even Archaon. He can put a decent attack on Archaon, so I say don't underestimate Kroq Gar. My opponent does have 2 chameleon skinks here. Poison, they're basically aquatic, and they're chameleon as well, so they can't be seen. So it's really hard for me to shut these guys down. I don't have really skirmishing units or cavalry, because I thought if they do, my opponent can just bring chameleon skinks and they can just screw me over. He does have the cohort of Sotek. These guys were the MVP for my opponent this game. These guys are really, really good. They're armor piercing, they're frenzy, they have poison attacks, and they're just going to be able to do a lot of damage to any of my units. Chosen, Warriors of Chaos, or, you know, Chaos Warriors, sorry, these guys are just going to put in work. And of course, they have that Legion of Chakra Refuse to Die ability. And basically, they can't die. They take health damage, yes, but of course, you know, they literally will just not lose any of their models and can just stay and fight for, like, I believe it's 18 seconds? 20 seconds, so really good. My opponent does have some Saurus Warriors with spears mixed in here. I think he has 2 of them here. Two Saurus Warriors with spears. Very good at taking out, you know, large units. He does have some skinks here, but that's my opponent's main sort of, you know, brunt of the army. He does have 1 Temple Guard unit and the Star Chamber Guardians. Now, these guys are just absolutely incredible. Such a powerful unit. They have 75 models, amazing stats. They're really, I mean, for those of you that don't know, Star Chamber Guardians or Temple Guard in general just double as a anti-infantry and anti-large unit, simply because they have halberds, which is good for that bonus versus large, but their attacks are very quick. So they're actually really decent at taking out infantry as well. So they're a very safe pick here, but they do have the Guardian ability. So physical resistance to any lords or heroes. And my opponent did actually bring a Stegodon with siege equipment, which is kind of ironic. But this Skink Priest, he does have harmonic conversions, which is basically the opposite of what I have, you know, plus melee attack and melee defense. And he has a Comet of Cassandora. I really like my opponent for picking this. You know, very sort of rare pick. You don't see the Comet of Cassandora very often, because the reason you don't see it is because it's such a expensive spell. I mean, 13 Winds of Magic, but also it takes such a long time to cast and it barely, you know, hits anything. But we'll see how my opponent does with that. But anyway, let's get right into this game. I think he has some Saurus Wars in the spear here. Sorry, in the forest here. But anyway, the Hell Cannon, I was shooting into the Temple Guard. We've already done a nice amount of damage, but they've only lost 15 models. But I didn't realise my opponent had the Star Chamber Guardians. They were kind of hidden over this little hill here, so I didn't actually know. But we've got an engagement happening over here. The poor Mirror Guard, the worshippers of Slanns, are getting molested by these red-crested skinks, Ripperdactyls, and Kroq Gar, so, you know, it's pretty scary stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot to say my opponent does have Ripperdactyls. These aren't the anti-large ones, though, so I send Kolek and the Shaggoth on these guys to try and get what damage they can, and they say, if I can get these guys offline really quickly, then it'll be really good for me. The Chameleon Skinks are shooting into the Chaos Warriors, which is actually quite lucky for me, because these guys have shields, so that's actually not a bad engagement for me. Kroq Gar, though, he's hungry and he's looking for a target, as you can see. I think he's looking for a chance to get onto my Chaos Sorcerer, but as I say, Kolek is nearby, and you know, Kroq Gar and Kolek, they're a very even matchup, but with the Shaggoth nearby, my opponent's definitely not going to want to take that fight. It's very, very, very risky. Here is one mistake that I made, though. I probably should have left Shaggoth over there dealing with those Ripperdactyls and kept the Chosen nearby with Kolek, but you know, Kroq Gar does outfast, you know, I think he's a bit faster than me, so we decided to go for the Skink Priest here. We use Enabling Felnim to lower his melee defense and melee attack, but this is very risky because my opponent has the Star Chamber Guardians nearby, and this is a really bad engagement for Kolek and the Shaggoth. My opponent, though, is looking to try and get on my Chaos Dwarfs. You know, please don't kill my Chaos Dwarfs. You know, they're the only thing that I have, you know, to do with the third game at the moment. But my opponent is engaging these the Chosen with the halberds, with these sword spears, and Kroq Gar does get onto the Hell Cannon. But I got some Chaos Warriors retreating back to try and help out and kill these sword spearmen. But actually, this is actually not a too bad engagement for him because, you know, these halberds are going to do a lot of nice damage to Kroq Gar, so he's got to be really careful. I do believe this is a, no, it's not Hand of the Gods, it's Lord of the Storm. Sorry, Lord of the Storm does come down this Sword Spearman, but doesn't do much damage. It's more of a chaff unit, maybe good for killing zombies and that sort of thing. Doesn't do a lot of damage. I am looking for a chance to get on Kroq Gar, but Kroq Gar, my opponent's really playing smart here, and Kroq Gar, he's really sort of staying away from the rest of my you know, anti-large army here. Unfortunately, though, in the front line, the Chameleon Skinks, not the Chameleon Skinks, the red-crested Skinks, and, you know, the Ripperdactyls just clear up my front line here with the Chaos Warriors. The Skink Priest over here is actually going to work as well and taking out these Chaos Warriors. So, unfortunately, I don't really have, you know, a great... I mean, the balance of power is quite even right now. But as I say, I don't really have, like, a lot of infantry. I do have some Chaos Warriors, but Temple Guard... They'll, you know, these Star Chamber Guardians will be able to kill these Chaos Warriors very easily. My opponent is trying to get onto my Chaos Sorcerer here and does catch him with the Star Chamber Guardians, so very unfortunate. A Comet of Cassandora, though, is coming down here, but luckily I do react. I do like it. I mean, I did just catch that at the last second. Very close, though, because that would have done a lot of damage to Chaos, so I do dodge that very nicely. These red-crested Skinks are fighting Kolek, but Kroq Gar is coming in, and we do have the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth coming in as well. And we do have the Chosen with halberds nearby. So, not a too bad engagement for me. My opponent does realise this and does pull Kroq Gar out. I do use Enabling Felnim, but unfortunately my opponent does get out of there, which is really annoying for me. And my opponent's Ripperdactyls do get on my Chaos Dwarfs, and unfortunately, they're going to have to go back to the Darklands and await their turn in the third game. But we're chasing down Kroq Gar right now, because, as I say, my front line is sort of broken right now. I still have a lot of my Lords and Heroes, and these Chosen with Halberds, which are engaging the Skink Priest, so they're going to do a lot of damage, but my opponent still has 2 Temple Guard units pretty much fully up online. I mean, one has taken a lot of damage from the Hell Cannon, but the Star Chamber Guardians, they are just such MVPs. They are going to be basically surviving till the bitter end. Their leadership won't go down, basically. I mean, they might as well be unbreakable, as people say. I got some Chaos Warriors coming back, though, and I decided to send them onto the Chameleon Skinks, because I think, okay, well, if I can kill the Chameleon Skinks, that's actually not going to be too bad. But Ripperdactyls coming in and doing what they do best, ripping, infantry to pieces, like, just the Ripperdactyls that they are. We do get another nice catch on Kroq Gar, and we've got, a bit of a fight going on here. The Shaggoth is coming in, though, to back up Kolek here. And we do get some real nice solid damage on Kroq Gar. As I say, down to 2,500 HP. He does almost break, but luckily he does just get away out of there. So we're still chasing him down. My opponent's Ripperdactyls do take out these Chaos Warriors, which is really bad. We are doing really well over here, but then the Ripperdactyls and these Skinks do come in, so really, really bad for me. Back over here, though, the Chaos Sorcerer is routing off but due to the red-crested Skinks, which is bad. But the Chosen with Halberds, they are doing some nice damage to the Skink Priest, these Temple Guard, and both Temple Guard. They are really, really tanking. Unfortunately, the only way for me to really beat Temple Guard or the Star Chamber Guardians is by bringing Chosen with great weapons, but that's so expensive and they're so susceptible to, missile damage and stuff like that. We have got another Lord of the Storm coming down here, I do believe. And, yeah, doing some nice damage to those Temple Guard, but, unfortunately, it's not, they're just so tanky, and it ain't gonna basically do much to them. But, at the moment, we're sort of chasing Kroq Gar. Kroq Gar is running back to his temple over here, trying to hide behind this, but Kolek's having none of that, and we are still whacking him with that giant hammer. I can't remember what the hammer calls. I think it's called Sun Eater or something, I mean, it's not, I think it is called Star Crusher, sorry, yeah. So Star Crusher is attacking Kroq Gar. Kroq Gar does churn and fight here. My opponent does realise that I don't think he's going to be able to run to ever. But he's getting some nice damage on Kolek here. We've got a bit of a battle of the gods going on here. We have some nice cinematic shots still. We have this lovely battle. The Shaggoth is coming round, though. And basically, it's quite an even fight there. But as soon as the Shaggoth comes in, basically, what the hell is going on here? I'm sorry for this. But as I say, we've got a bit of an even fight going on here. But as soon as the Shaggoth comes in, unfortunately, Kroq Gar ain't going to be able to tank this forever. And unfortunately, with a couple of swings, Kroq Gar does fall off, and Grimlock dies, and basically we've taken out Kroq Gar, which is a real nice pick for me for this, pick basically. But unfortunately, I don't really have much left. I pretty much have nothing left. My Chosen of Halberds are routing off with 12 units left. The Chaos Sorcerer over here is being chased off by some Chameleon Skinks, and as I say, Bounce Power is in my opponent's favour, and I don't really have a lot left, so quite scary stuff. I mean, what are the unit count? 25 to 315? Yeah, so, not great. However, we have taken down Kroq Gar, so the leadership of my opponent isn't, quite high now, but he still has the Skink Priest of Heavens, and he does have that, that siege weapon on there, and does start shooting into my Lord, of course. I wasn't sure where this damage was coming from, but then, of course, I realised that he does have the siege weapon. So my opponent's sort of setting up here, like in a last stand sort of ditch effort. At this moment, I thought he was going to be a cheese and camp in the forest and trying to give me that forest penalty. For those of you who don't know, any unit that is not infantry, I believe, unless you have the no forest penalty, does have a penalty in forest. I'm not into, I think it's speed and maybe something else, but my opponent doesn't do that. He actually falls back and just sort of sets up and, sort of makes his line here, which is completely understandable. I mean, as I say, he's not going to be, he doesn't want to engage Kolek and the Shaggoth alone. We do eventually, though, route off some Skinks over there, and we do get the Chaos Sorcerer back in, so not too bad. I really wish I put him on a horse, though. I tried to put him on a horse, but for some reason the game just wouldn't allow me. Bounce Power is very even right now, and basically my logic is that if I can kill the Skink Priest of Heavens, then maybe we might be able to cause a terror out here, but that is not easy, okay? As you can see, these Ripperdactyls, they are literally looking for their opportunity to get on my Chaos Sorcerer here, so I've got to be extremely careful. We do have some Chaos Warriors that route back, but their leadership is so low that unfortunately they won't even be able to, come into the fight. They'll just be terror routed as soon as they come over. But, as I say, we do use another Lord of the Storm here on the Star Chamber Guardians, because they were the main problem here. The Star Chamber Guardians were going to be the main problem. We don't actually even get a model killing them. The siege weapon is still firing as well from the Skink Priest of Heavens, and we are sort of lining up here for the final battle. And basically, yeah, this is how it's going to go. So my plan was that maybe if I can draw all his units in, I might be able to get round to get to his Skink Priest. So the Red Crest, the Cohort Septic does go in, but they do pop their Refuse to Die, which is very smart for my opponent here, because of course they're going to tank and not die you know, which is just perfect for my opponent. They can take all the brunt of the force. Ripperdactyls do come in. They do rout the Chaos Sorcerer here, which is looking really bad. Kroq on the verge of routing, but luckily we do just manage to pull out there. We pull out, of course, boys, and we sort of, you know, get out. But then my opponent made one big mistake, and that was leaving this Skink Priest on his own. And of course, Kroq and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, they're quite, you know, they're quite decent massed units. So I thought, this is my opportunity. The Skink Priest is out of position. Kroq's hungry, so is the Shaggoth. We're going to go whack on him with our giant hammer and axe. And of course, the Skink Priest does charge in, because I think my opponent realised here, shit, you know, there's not really, you can't really run, because running would be a bad idea. And we do actually manage to kill the Skink Priest, which is really good. So at this point, I was thinking, okay, that's really good. Kroq does rout here, so very, very, you know, even as balance power, very, very close. Now it's up to the Shaggoth now. But the thing is, we've got 2 Temple Guard units in here, and the Kroq will Sotek, which of course has that refuse to die ability. So very, very surprised if this, you know, works out for me. We do use Oakum's Mind Razor here to give you know, some armor piercing damage and weapon damage here. And basically, Kroq does rout back as well, which is really good for me. But as I say, we've got a bit of a target here. And basically, I was literally relying on a rout now. And Chameleon Skinks do rout off, which is a good start for me. And basically, the Shaggoth is going to work. He's doing some nice damage. Kroq does charge in, and we rout a Temple Guard. And we rout a Saurus Spearman. So as I say, starting to look really good for me. However, Star Chamber Guardians are no pushover. They, without a Lord or a Hero or any units left, these guys will fight to the end. Look at their leadership. 57, 52. I mean, these guys are just not scared to the slightest. They will defend their temples to the final day, defending their slanns. Kroq does unfortunately rout off here. I do send the Chaos Sorcerer in, and we do use a Enabling Foe on the Star Chamber Guardians, trying to debuff them what little I can. But unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough. The Temple Guard and Mean Skinks do rout back. Kroq does come back as well. And unfortunately, his Vig is so down, though, that basically just even moving him is going to ruin his leadership. The Shaggoth has fought well here, though. We are really trying to take out this Temple Guard. But, as I say, Star Chamber Guardians, no pushover. They are just such a good unit against Chaos. Always bring them. And unfortunately, my units do rout. Very well played to my opponent. It was really fun. This guy, you know, was, you know, real nice at the end. We had, you know, GG, well played all around. I mean, you know, really enjoyed this game. I just love a close game, man. Like, you know, I don't care if I lose or win. It's all about those, you know, just enjoying having a balanced fight against somebody and just having fun at the end of the day. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time.